Namaste.
Pranam.
We had been discussing the fundamental technique of dance with special reference to the Natya Shastra. Now I know that I have asked this question a number of times, but it is so important that I will ask you again. What are the three types or divisions of Nartan?
Nritya, and Natya.
Right, very good. Nritta, that which is abstract dance, in which the movements do not convey any particular idea. And this is based on Tal and
Lay.
Right. Nritta, Tal, Laya, Ashrayam. Nritya, expressive dance, is again based on
Rag.
Rag. So generally we have lyrics or beautiful songs, and with the help of the songs, or rather based on the songs, we dance expressive items. That is Nritya. And then we have dramatic dance or Natya, and that is anchored on
Bhav and
Rasa. Bhav and Rasa. Right. So, Natya, Bhava, Rasa, Ashrayam. We had discussed 4 types of Abhinaya. Can you name them?
Angik Abhinay, Bachi Kuvira, Ahajya Abhinay, and Kathak Abhinay.
So, Angik Abhinaya, in which you communicate with the help of your ang or your body. Vachik, when words come in, vachan, and so that is Vachik Abhinaya. Then we have
Aharya.
Aharya, where we have acquired certain things like ornaments, costumes, props, and so on. And then the 4th is
Satvik.
Satvik Abhinaya, which emanates from within, from your inner energy, from your own feelings. We have discussed all the Abhinayas, and especially we have discussed Rasa and Bhava. We have also touched on Anubhav and Vibhav. These are associated with Satvik Abhinaya. Let us listen to the shlok enumerating the 4 Abhinayas. It is always good to know this shlok by heart, because when you are discussing Abhinaya, if you recite this shlok, people will think that you're so knowledgeable. You can actually cite from the Natya Shastra. So listen to it carefully and try to memorize it.
Angiko Vachikashcheva Aharya Satvikas-tatha Chattaroha विनयाज्यते विज्ञया नाट्य संश्रया.
Now we will analyze Angik Abhinaya. We will first hear the shlok describing the salient features that are employed in Angik Abhinaya.
त्रिविधं त्वाङ्गिक इष्ट शारीरो मुखजस्तथा तथा चेष्टा कृतश्चैव शाखांग उपांग संयुत.
It is said that in Angik Abhinaya there are three main features that are employed. One is the sharir, body, next is the face, and then shakha of anga and upanga. Now this shakha has been interpreted in many ways, but the general idea is that the use of ang and upang, the body and the parts thereof. Let us listen to the three separately.
Shariro.
So the use of the body,
Mukhajastatha.
the use of the face,
Shakhang upang sanyuta.
so the various movements of the ang, the body, and upang, and the parts thereof. In the Natya Shastra, we find that for discussions, the body is divided again into 6 parts. We will hear the shloka describing the divisions of the body.
Shirohasta Katibaksha Parshvapada Samanvita Anga Pratyanga Sanyukta Shadango Natya Sangraha.
Now, sometimes people ask that, do we have to do these separately? No. You can use the hands and the feet and the waist and the head all at the same time. But for the sake of analysis, so that we can focus on each separately, these are divided into 6. So the first is
Shiro.
Shiro, means the head, actually the face also, from the neck upwards. So this is the first ang. The second is
Hasta.
the hands, including the fingers, the entire limb. Okay. Then
Kati.
Kati is the waist. Now, you know that in dance the waist is so important. We bend from the waist. We bend forwards, backwards, sideways, and then we can also rotate the waist. And so the importance of the waist is there. The fourth is
Vaksha.
so the chest. In fact, the region between the neck and the waist. This entire part is actually referred to as Vaksha in the Natya Shastra. The fifth,
Parshapada.
so here Parsha means the sides, but actually it's the region below the waist, the two sides, how to use them. And Pada is the sixth, the feet. So the entire body is divided into 6 parts for the sake of analysis. The head, the hands, the waist, the chest, the two sides round the hips, thighs, and the feet. In fact, in the Natya Shastra, detailed descriptions are given regarding the use of all these parts. The face, the Mukhaj Abhinaya, we will listen to how the various parts of the face are separately focused on.
Tasya shiro hasta ura parshva kati padata षडङ्गानि नेत्र भ्रू नासाधर कपोल चिवुकान्यु पाङ्गानि.
In the first line of this couplet, the 6 angas are again referred to. We have discussed these separately, but once again let us enumerate them. The head, the hands, the waist, the chest, the sides, and the legs and the feet. Now we have the upang or mukhaja upang, which means the various subparts of the face, which are the eyes, the eyebrows, the nose, the lips, the cheek, and the chin. So, separately as stated in this couplet,
Netra.
eyes, and for the eyes we have various usages, glances, looking straight, looking at the side, looking upwards, looking downwards, rolling your eyes, looking in, or rather at an angle. Then glances, whether we are looking at someone for a long time or for a very short while. So all these are discussed. The eyes are very, very important. The next is
Bhru.
eyebrows. Now, the eyebrows are actually related to the eyes, but again they are a separate sub-part of the face. So, whether we are raising it or lowering it, whether we are raising one eyebrow, all these are very important in expression. Then
Nasa.
the nose, because sometimes in disgust we use the nose in a particular way when we are constricting it. Then again, for adbhuta, we are as if expanding the nose. Then
Adhara.
adhar actually refers to the lower lips, but here for oshta and adhar has been used. So when we are smiling, when we are sad, in wonder, in love, the lips are important. Then
Kapola
the cheeks. When we smile, when we laugh, the cheeks vibrate. Then
Chivuka.
the chin. For a heroic pose, the chin is raised. Then for Karun Ras, the chin is lowered. For Shringar, it is at one side, and so on. So all these parts of the Upangas are very, very important. Then it is said that Shakha, or the usage, the movements of the Angas and Upangs are very important in Angik Abhinaya. Now I have to focus on one particular Ang, the Hasta. We have various usages of Hasta, and especially for Natya Dharmi Abhinaya, where it is a dramatic enactment as opposed to Lokdharmi Abhinaya, in which it is a natural enactment. In fact, in Natya Dharmi, the Hastas play a very, very important role, the gestures of the hands. Now, generally, while teaching the Hastas, we follow the Abhinaya Darpan, because the usages and the numbers of the hands in the Abhinaya Darpan are more exhaustive. But the Natya Shastra enumerates a number of hands. The Asanyukta, or the single hand gestures, are 24 as described in the Natya Shastra, 28 as described in the Abhinaya Darpan. For Sangyukta Hasta, where both the hands are used, the Natya Shastra gives us 13, the Abhinaya Darpan 23. Then we have another type of Hasta, which is the Nritta Hasta, which does not have any meaning but is used in abstract dance. For this, the Natya Shastra gives us 27, as opposed to the Abhinaya Darpan, which gives us 13. But naturally, while doing Abhinaya, we have to have more meaningful gestures, which the Abhinaya Darpan gives to us. This year, you will learn in detail the usages of the Hastas as described in the Abhinaya Darpan. Hands are sometimes placed above, again below, in front, and at the sides. The Natya Shastra gives us details regarding the use of the feet, then various postures or poses, various gaits or charis. We will learn all these in detail in the third year, because this paper gives a general introduction to Angik Abhinaya. Remember, there are 6 major divisions of the body. The first is
Shira.
yes, Shira, the head. The second is
Hasta.
Hasta, the hands. Then
Kati.
Kati, the waist.
Baksha.
Vaksha, the chest.
Parsha.
Parsha,
And
which
last,
means the sides, but actually it comes to the hips and the thighs. And
Pada.
Pada, the feet, also including the legs. These are the 6 Angas, Shara Anga. Then we have the Upangs, especially Mukhaja Upang, and these are
Netra.
Netra, the eyes,
Bhu.
Bru, the eyebrows, the nose, Nasika,
Nasika.
lips, Adhar, then cheek, Kapul,
Kapul.
chin, Chibuk.
Chibuk.
Now we are told that the Sharir and Mukhaj are 2 modes of expression, and then we have the Shakha of the Anga and Upang, movements of the major parts of the body and the minor parts of the body. You will learn that the Abhinaya Darpan again divides the body into further subparts. But since we are discussing the Natya Shastra, we will not go into the detail just now. The next major Abhinaya is
Bachi Kuvira.
Bachi Abhinaya. Now, the Natya Shastra actually means a treatise on drama, and we say dance drama because in earlier days dance was a part of a dramatic enactment. But although we have several chapters on Bachik Abhinaya, in dance they are not so important because we do not have to depend on the spoken word as much as an actor in a drama has to depend. But the Natya Shastra gives details regarding which types of languages can be used. Remember, in those days, Prakrit was the language commonly used by people, and the polished form of Prakrit was Sanskrit. Now, we have inherited Sanskrit texts because obviously the polished language was used for treatises. So the Natya Shastra tells us that Prakrit and Sanskrit can be used. Even local dialects can be used depending on the style of presentation of the drama and also depending on what characters speak these words. Like a very refined character will obviously speak a refined language, and those who are villagers will speak the rural dialect. The Natya Shastra tells us about rhythmic presentations, lyrical presentations. So you can have plain words, then words in the form of poetry, and words in the form of songs. In the Natya Shastra, we have details regarding various meters, metrical presentations, then how to pronounce words, where the various sounds are emanating from, whether they are like g, k, come from the throat, p, b, come from the lips. All these are discussed. Then ordinary words, compound words are discussed, sentences are discussed, grammar is dealt with. Because unless a person knows a language and knows how to pronounce it properly and to speak it properly, the person obviously will not be a good actor. These are beautifully discussed in the Natya Shastra. Now, in relation to Kathak, when do we use Bachi Abhinaya? First of all, when we are enacting Nritya to a song. So, the song has words, that is Bachi Abhinaya. Then we also use poems as in Kavit presentations. Again, since Kathak is a style of dance in which the dancer constantly interacts with the audience, the words spoken by the dancer during the interaction are also important. So we can't say that, oh, we are not enacting a drama. In Kathak dance, we have to speak and we have to communicate through words. So we have to learn how to speak properly, how to speak the words in their proper pronunciation. And I'm sure all of you speak well and know the language well, especially the language that you're going to communicate in. So remember that all this is important today and has been important for the last 2000 years or even more. But as I said, that since we are not learning drama, rather we are learning dance, we will not discuss in detail all the metrical patterns and all the modes of presentation through pronunciation and grammar as discussed in the Natya Shastra. We will then learn Aharya Abhinaya. Now I had told you that in solo Kathak presentations, Aharya is again not very important, because a solo dancer wears one costume, is dressed in a certain way and performs the entire dance dressed in that way. Because it is not possible to go on changing your costume while dancing solo, because then what will the audience do during that time? But in a dance drama, different characters use different costumes, and the costumes and makeup convey ideas about what the actor is going to present or what type of a character he or she is. But again, we cannot entirely rule out Aharya Abhinaya, because you cannot go like this and start dancing. When you are presenting a performance on the stage, you have to be well dressed, you have to be attractively dressed. We will discuss Aharya Abhinaya. Let us first hear a shloka describing Aharya Abhinaya.
चतुर्विधं तु नेपथ्यं पुस्तहलङ्कार एव च तथाङ्गवचना चैव ज्ञेयसञ्जीव एव च.
So, the shlok tells us that there are 4 main divisions or 4 types of Aharya Abhinaya. The first is your costume, the second is the ornaments, the third is the makeup, and the fourth, other objects that you bring in. We will discuss details regarding each of these and hear more shlokas from the Abhinaya Darpan in the next lesson. So remember, we have learnt Angik Abhinaya and Bachi Abhinaya. We have just touched on Aharya Abhinaya, and in the previous lessons we learnt about Satvik Abhinaya. Abhinaya or communication is very, very important in a dramatic enactment, and because our classical dance is anchored in dramatic enactments, we have to know Abhinaya in detail. So I wish you all the best. Do remember what we have learned. I do hope you're enjoying the lessons, and we will meet very soon. Namaste.